Yes, guys. Jamal Musiala has rejected a new contract from Bayern Munich. Does this push him closer to Manchester City? Yes, in my opinion, it does. I've said for some time that I think Jamal Musiala will end up at Manchester City. I've been rocked a few times, but I've gone through all of the tweets, right? And there are 6 tweets that I want to show you in this video that I think look like suggesting that he's going to join Manchester City in the summer. And at the end of the video, we're going to take a look at his stats as well from this season and his overall career, bearing in mind this guy is very, very young. Before we get into it, guys, please make sure you drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. This is More LB. Double check you subscribe and get me comments in down below. Do you want Musiala at Manchester City? I know a lot of people would prefer Florian Wirtz. I'm kind of with you on that one, but I don't think Florian Wirtz is going to happen. I think Musiala is the more realistic target. So this is the latest news coming out here. Jamal Musiala has rejected a new deal at Bayern Munich as he targets a summer move to the Premier League. Manchester City were made aware of that decision last week and are increasingly confident of winning the battle for Musiala, who, as you can see here, is 21, right? So this guy's still not signed a new contract at Bayern Munich, which, when you think about it, he's 21 years old. Why would he still not have signed a new contract? It doesn't make any sense. If he wants to stay, surely he was going to sign that new deal. Now, with 2 years left to run on his current deal, Musiala will cost at least 80 million quid, in addition to weekly wages of around £200,000. Now, not to sound like a Premier League snob, but also sounding completely like a Premier League snob, 80 million quid for someone like Jamal Musiala and £200,000 a week salary will be absolutely no trouble whatsoever for Manchester City. So that will not put us off whatever. That's just a standard thing. We paid 77 million for a centre-back in Josko Gvardiol. Paid 100 million for Grealish. So if anyone thinks, oh, that's too much for Musiala, then you're in cloud cuckoo land, mate. That is an absolute chill sort of transfer fee and a wage. But here, it gets more interesting because these are the tweets that have gone back in the last 6 months. Have a look at some of these comments. Jamal Musiala. Now, this was in September 2023, right? September last year. This is what he said. He said, "I want to be one of the best players in the world. That's my ambition. In 1 to 2 years, I want to be at the highest possible level." Here's the problem, Bray. You're not going to be that player at Bayern Munich, in my opinion, in that time frame. Why? Because buying that ass, mate. Yeah? Jamal, buying that ass. You ain't going to be that top player at Bayern Munich, because for me, to be a top player, you need to be around good players. You know, Kevin De Bruyne, as good as he is, if you put him at Stoke City, mate, or someone like that, he's probably not going to get 50 assists a season, 30 assists a season, because he's not got Erling Haaland in front of him. You know, you need to be in a good team to really showcase your abilities. In my personal opinion, you're not going to be able to do that at Bayern right now because they're struggling. You know, the team is weak. The manager, poor manager. I know he's going at the end of the year, but like, this is what's going on there with a new manager. How long is it going to take for that new manager to come in and sort himself out? Are you even going to be able to re-overtake Leverkusen next year? I know Xavi Alonso's going to leave, but still, they're still got Florian Wirtz and a lot of the players. So, you know, again, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. I don't think you're going to be able to do that in that time frame. Here's some more comments. Look at this. Again, this was in September. Musiala on the Premier League. The Premier League is currently the most strongest and most attractive league in the world. But I feel comfortable here and focused on being successful with Bayern. But you never know what will happen in a few years. He's not ruling it out. And he's saying the Premier League is currently the strongest and most attractive league in the world. And just a reminder for people that don't know this, Musiala's lived in England before. I think he was in the Chelsea Academy and the Southampton Academy. He's lived in England when he was a kid. His parents lived in England and then they moved back to Germany. So he's not like he doesn't know England. He's lived here. I think he lived here for like 6 or 7 years when he was younger. So he obviously knows the Premier League. He said there, the Premier League is the most attractive league in the world. Again, like, do you say these things if you don't want to, if you want to stay at Bayern Munich? I'm not too sure. Then have a look at this. This is where it gets seriously interesting. English top clubs, including Liverpool, are interested in Jamal Musiala and have had him on their list for a long time. Bayern want to extend Musiala's contract beyond 2026. There was a meeting between Hassan Salihamidzic and Musiala back in April, which was supposed to be the start of contract talks. But since then, talks have been on hold. Musiala and his management will now want to wait to see how the situation will develop. They want to make sure the 20-year-old is a key player for the future. So it's about the sporting project, not the money, right? And again, if it was about the money, he would have signed the deal already. Manchester City are very interested in Jamal Musiala and want to intensify their efforts to sign the player. Pep Guardiola would like to have Musiala in his midfield. City are hoping contract talks between Bayern and Musiala would remain in standstill until the summer so they could lure the player to Manchester. Real Madrid and Liverpool are also interested. Bayern want to try everything to extend Musiala's contract as soon as possible. And this is from Christian Falk as well, who's a pretty good source when it comes to stuff regarding Bayern Munich. And that was in October. But look, it just keeps on going mad. Pep Guardiola sees Jamal Musiala as the best 10 in the world in 1 to 2 years. That's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. 1 to 2 years. What did Jamal Musiala say back in September 2023? He said he wants to be one of the best players in 1 to 2 years. And now Pep's saying he sees him as one of the best players in 1 to 2 years. Okay. He wants him as Kevin De Bruyne's successor. Liverpool and coach Jurgen Klopp are also interested. Musiala's priority, meanwhile, remains at Bayern Munich. That's obviously a chilling. The player feels comfortable in Munich and has good friends in the team with Alphonso Davies. He's leaving. Leroy Sané, who's played for Manchester City. Musiala currently earns €8 million a year, which is much less than the likes of Kimmich and Sané. The 20-year-old wants to become one of the top earners. Christian Frond has a meeting with the players' representatives to get to know each other with concrete negotiations set to take place next summer. In addition to the financial aspect, Musiala wants a team that can win the Champions League. Not happening, bro. You're not doing that at Bayern Munich right now, and makes his dream of winning the Ballon d'Or achievable. That's just not happening at Bayern Munich, mate. Not now. Might do in a couple of years. Not now. That team is ass, mate. Yeah. Really poor when you watch them. Really poor. It needs a lot of investment. A lot of investment. You could come to Manchester City, you could go to Real Madrid, even Liverpool, and have a better chance of winning that. And if we speak about the salaries, right? People say, "Oh, it's just salaries. It's just salaries." I just don't think it is. Look at this. This is the salaries for Bayern Munich, right? So Harry Kane, he's on 480,000 euros a week. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see it. Neuer 400, right? We have to go down to where is he? Musiala's on 96, right? You're telling me that Bayern Munich are not prepared to put Musiala on like the numbers with Sane and Kimmich and Gnabry and Muller and Goretzka. There's no chance that they're not going to do that. You're not telling me that. So they're sitting down with Musiala and say, "Sorry, mate, you're not worth the same money as Serge Gnabry on 362 grand a week." Shut up, man. If this was a money thing, this was a money issue for Musiala, yeah, the contract would have been signed because Bayern Munich are clearly not going to say to Musiala, "Sorry, mate, we can't give you the same money as Serge Gnabry and make you our 5th or 6th highest paid player," or even Sane. Maybe they'll look at Kane and go, "You're not worth Kane money. You're not worth 480 grand a week." But you're up there with Muller and Sané and Kimmich and Gnabry for sure. So if this was a money thing, you would have signed. So it is definitely a sporting issue. Either one where he is genuinely waiting to see what happens with Bayern Munich and to see if they get better, or he wants to leave. In my opinion, this is not about the money. I just do not see this being about the money whatsoever. Herbert Heiner on Jamal Musiala's future. This is on October again. If other clubs are looking at Musiala, that doesn't surprise us at all because he's an outstanding player. He showed that again on Tuesday in Istanbul. He has a contract until 2026. That's only 2 years, and knows what he has at Bayern Munich. He knows that all the doors are open to him here. I would like to have him with us for a very long time. There's no rush on either side. Again, does this sound to you like a club that is haggling, wheeling and dealing? No. They literally, the guy literally says he knows that all the doors are open to him here. They're going to pay Musiala whatever he wants. This ain't about money, man. This is not about the money. Not at all. Real Madrid, I don't see this personally. Real Madrid are considering Jamal Musiala as first alternative should their proposed move for Kylian Mbappe fall through. Manchester City and Pep Guardiola see the 20-year-old, now 21, as Kevin De Bruyne's legitimate successor. Bayern, meanwhile, will do everything to keep Musiala to extend his contract. For the club, it's clear that they would have to almost triple Musiala's current wages of 8 million a year and make him one of the top earners. Again, that's not an issue. For the player, it's not about the money. Yep, there you go. It's not about the money. He wants a Champions League and a team with realistic chances of winning it. Not Bayern Munich. I'm sorry, man. Bayern Munich are not winning that Champions League this year. Yeah, we've done a lot of watch-alongs this year, Bayern Munich, and I've watched them a couple of times not doing watch-alongs. They're a very, very average team. Very, very average team, I promise you. Now, obviously, they've got Kane up front. If they can get him service in a game, anything can happen, right? It's a game of football. But they ain't as good as Real Madrid. They're not as good as City. I just don't believe they're probably not even as good as Inter Milan. And you know, they struggled against Lazio, mate. They're 1-0 down. He currently does not think about his future. Contract talks will only take place after the season. I always think that's a bit of a red flag for clubs. You know, if a player wants to stay, right, and the club are like, yeah, money's not an issue, why are you waiting until the end of the season? Just get the contract done. You know what I mean? If Kevin De Bruyne now wants to sign a new contract and City are like, we want you to stay, money's not an issue, why are you waiting? Just sign a contract, man. I always think it's a bit of a red flag when players decide to wait, you know what I mean, on to the end of the season, unless they want like a big pay rise or whatever. There you go. That's about some contract extensions. And the final tweet before we get into his stats, Musiala says, my contract runs until 2026. Everything is relaxed. I feel comfortable at Bayern Munich and in the team under Thomas Tuchel. You kind of got to say that. It's kind of got to say that. You can't come out in December and say, yeah, I'm thinking of leaving, right? So I don't really read too much into that, but I wanted to be fair. I wanted to be unbiased on this video, and I wanted to show you that as well. Let's take a look at his stats then. This is this season, guys, 2023-2024. He's got 9 goals and 4 assists there. Hopefully you guys can see that. 7 goals, 3 assists in the league, 2 goals in the Champions League with an assist as well. If we do that by the standard minutes per goal, we do 2,072 minutes divided by 13 GNA. That's 159 minutes per goal or an assist. That is all right. That, to be honest, that's pretty decent for a midfielder. If we look at just all competitions since he's been playing for Bayern Munich, you can see he got his debut in 2020, and then he was loaned out, and then he's been playing Bundesliga football for Bayern Munich properly since 2020, 2021. 6 goals in his first season, which is very impressive given the fact he only played that 869 minutes, as you can see there. 5 goals, 5 assists in his second season. Just under double the minutes. Then he got 12 goals, 13 assists last year. That is stunning, really. I mean, if I do that by minutes, that's going to be seriously impressive. 2,209 minutes divided by 25 GNA. That's 88 minutes per goal in this season here, 2022, 2023. And like I say, so far this year, he's on 7 goals, 3 assists. And before we wrap up, let's just do the thing that everyone always wants me to check, his injury record. Let's have a look. So he's had a few injuries. Let's have a look what's going on here. So he's had muscular problems back in 2021, out for a week. Fitness issue. That's probably just because obviously he's come back. And then to be fair, this is why you got to look properly. Because look, quarantine, coronavirus infection. And then he's had another coronavirus up there. So five of this list is coronavirus, mate. So you get rid of that, yeah? He's had what? He's had a strain, out for 4 days, missed a game. A laceration wound. What the fuck's that? Jesus. Sound like he's on the trenches or something. 3 days. Hamstring injury, out for just under 2 weeks. Torn muscle fibre, out for 2 weeks. Hamstring injury again, out for call it a month. So listen, it's not actually that bad. When you strip out the coronavirus stuff here, yeah, he's had about 4 injuries. He's probably missed about 2 months, 2.5 months of football since he started. I don't really see that as a major issue. He's young, his body's still growing, etc., etc. But guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below about Jamal Musiala. Rejected a contract at Bayern Munich. Is he going to leave? And are Manchester City going to buy him? You know what I mean? We know we need a midfielder. We was in for Paqueta. Could we be getting him? Can we get Paqueta and Musiala? I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Let me know your thoughts and comments in this comment section below. I like him. I would prefer Wirtz. I can't lie. I would prefer Wirtz, to be honest with you. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Wirtz is going to be a very tricky player to get in. But Musiala is not a bad second option, right? He's not a bad second option. So, and yeah, the money's not an issue. You know what I mean? They're saying 80 million quid. City will pay that, no problem. 200 grand a week, City will pay that, no problem. So yeah, let's see what happens. You know, until he signs that contract, anything's possible. He wants to play at a team that could win the Champions League. Bayern are not currently that team. Could he join Manchester City? I don't know. Guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please smash a like. Double check you subscribe. Remember, this is the second channel, More LB. Get your comments in down below, and I'll see you for the watch along.